Check, check. Hello. Before I start, I'm told if there's overflow room back here in the Bertha Knight Landis room. Welcome everyone to City Hall on this momentous day. It's so wonderful to see all of your beautiful faces here. My name is Scott Myers, and, thank you. And I am the first gentleman of Seattle. Yeah, thank you. If you told me 1 year ago that I'd be standing here before you today, I would have said, "You're crazy." Me, a gentleman? And yet here I am. But this isn't about me. We're all here because one fine morning this past November, the citizens of Seattle awoke to find that we had elected as our next mayor, Katie Wilson. How on earth did this happen? A great change is coming over this country. A new generation is starting to come to power. And we're going to do things differently. Millennials are the first generation in many decades that have things significantly worse than our parents. And the next generation is set to be even worse off than we. Is it too much to ask for a life that isn't a constant struggle just to keep your head above the water? Yeah. Is it too much to ask for a place in the world? Is it too much to ask for a future to look forward to? As long as the economy increasingly fails the needs of working people, they're going to look for solutions outside of the status quo. And this has opened up space for people like Katie Wilson to get elected. And until things get better, this space is only going to open up wider and wider. Katie is just one of many to come. But Katie is only as strong as the people she represents. Only as strong as you. The organized power of working people, ordinary working people, is the only counterbalance to the powerful economic interests that would work against her. Only when we become as serious about taking care of ourselves and taking care of one another as they are about making money, will we be able to solve the problems facing us in the 21st century. And build a radiant future for the human race. And I hope that, like Katie, you'll do everything in your power to figure out how we make that future a reality.
Oh yeah.
So before Katie takes the oath of office, we're going to hear from a few speakers who have worked with her over the years. Our first speaker is Ifra Abshir. She's a graduate of Rainier Beach High School. Yeah. And she was a leader in the campaign for the free youth transit. She's now a doctoral student in health services, research and policy at the University of Minnesota. Let's give it up for Ifra.
Okay, can everybody hear me well? Okay, I'm the first speaker, so I'm very nervous, so bear with me. But it's my honor to be here today welcoming Katie Wilson as mayor of Seattle. Woo! Okay, so Katie and I first crossed paths many years ago, almost 10, long before either of us envisioned this moment, because she was the head of the Transit Riders Union, one of them, and I was a sophomore at Rainier Beach High School. Back then, I just simply dreamed about the bus arriving on time. I walked through my day trying to stay safe, stay quiet, and stay out of trouble. I would practice sentences in my head before I said them, both because I had an accent, but also because I knew that people do not hear everybody the same way. Some kids are allowed to ask questions about the environment, and others are taught that the system is fixed, and survival is the best you can hope for. That lesson did not come from a textbook, rather straight from observing how power worked around me. Because I realized very quickly that this country kind of uses the same playbook: pick a vulnerable group, describe them as a threat, flood the media with accusations, then use the panic to justify collective punishment.
Oh, yes.
So as a Somali immigrant Muslim American, thank you. I miss Seattle. But our community knows this script very well. So we had surveillance of our mosque, travel bans, a certain president calling us garbage. And this rhetoric doesn't stay abstract, it always filters down. So we've seen these past few weeks people pulling up to Somali daycares and establishments demanding that they prove that they're not committing fraud. They're literally harassing our neighbors and our children because they believe that we inherently are untrustworthy. This is what sustained dehumanization does. It starts as language, it becomes a belief, and then it shows up in real places with real consequences. But this playbook is not exclusive to us. So we've seen after the Supreme Court Dobbs reversal, reproductive care became a battleground, forcing people to travel, delay care, or carry pregnancies against their will. Trans youth were being turned into political targets, with lawmakers trying to criminalize their doctors, families, and their very existence. Immigrant policies have also forcefully ripped families apart by design, turning humans into case numbers and seats on deportation flights. But this is exactly why city leadership matters, because when national politics become cool, cities still have power. Local governments can either reproduce harm or they can interrupt it. To be clear, a city cannot fix everything. A mayor is not a superhero. But local leadership can organize protection at the scale of daily life. Because rights are not just words, they're practices. Rights exist in whether you can walk down the street without being harassed, whether your kid can learn without being signaled out, and whether you can access healthcare, whether you can worship without being watched, and whether your family can stay together, and whether you can be queer in public without scanning the room first. And the difference between feeling the full weight of federal cruelty or being shielded by it comes down to interruption. How will we protect each other? How will the mayor interrupt those who wish to harm our city and our community? The truth is, I am standing here today because my life was interrupted by people who constantly refuse to let systems decide my ceiling. Like Rainy Beach High School teachers who noticed me and stayed past the semester, community organizers at Wall Block who taught me that policy is something you can shape, not survive, interrupted by Katie Wilson who trusted me early before I was polished when I was just a young high schooler trying to get to school on time. Exactly. And that interruption matters because through Rainy Beach High School work with the Transit Riders Union, we were able to get the city of Seattle to approve Orca cards for students across the city, distributing more than 15,000 by 2018 alone. And it's, yes. And I'll end by saying that it was proof that a dream at a bus stop can become a policy on paper and then a ride home in real life. Proof that you can never be too optimistic. And even after I graduated high school and started at University of Washington, Katie appointed me to the city's transit advisory board, continuing that legacy of getting young leaders in the rooms where decisions are made, even if they're not ready. Yes. And that, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody here, is why I was able to complete my bachelor's, my master's, and now graduating with my PhD in health services, research, and policy. So yes, keep calling the mayor about potholes. Please call every day if you need to, but also remember that democracy is a street we all live on, and if we can patch the asphalt we can patch civic life. If we can build this city budget, we can build a city that refuses to cooperate with cruelty. And if we can keep a city running, then we can keep each other safe. Lastly, Katie Wilson has pledged to defend Seattle as a sanctuary city in practice, not just in name. Yes. Because cities do not earn moral authority by how they treat the powerful. They earn it by who they refuse to abandon. And history is watching, and history does not reward neutrality. So thank you.
Let's hear it for Ifra Abshir. Our next speaker is Jarvis Kapushin. He's an organizer with the self-managed homeless organization Nicholsville. Let's give it up for Jarvis.
Well, I don't know if I can follow Abraham. That was great. Good morning, everyone, and Happy New Year. I'm thrilled and honored to be asked to speak before you today here as we celebrate the inauguration of our new mayor, Katie Bill Wilson. Katie is someone that I've known for about 15 years now, and someone I've met with for a quintessentially Seattle cup of coffee. And it's so proud that she's been elected as our new mayor. For years, I've been a participant in grassroots self-managed homeless-led organizations, and often we'll meet with elected officials, mayors, council members, and the like. Funny enough, I was just talking to her earlier. We were upstairs in the mayor's office. It's the first time I've been in the mayor's office since Mayor Murray 2 years ago. And that was when we were meeting with the mayor for the declaration of state of emergency on homelessness 10 years ago. So I'm ecstatic that our new mayor is someone I'm on a first name basis with and consider a friend. A mayor that has been in the trenches with us, so to speak, during the numerous times we did direct action from rallies to sleep outs and advocating for low income and homeless people. I first met Katie during the early days of the Transit Riders Union when I was still homeless, staying at 1063. I remember, if I remember correctly, our first collaboration was during the demise of the Ride-Free area in downtown Seattle, a program that's been in place for 4 decades. That was in 2012. And it was only natural to join forces with an organization that is advocating for affordable transit and an organization of homeless people that rely on a public transportation to get around to services and resources. At one point, we had to close our shelters due to rising costs and lack of funding. We decided to stick it together and camp out in tents in the plaza of the King County Administration Building. Katie and other members of the Transit Riders Union went side by side with us, carrying sleeping mats and blankets on the sidewalk of Fifth Avenue. Katie and I played a lot of Scrabble together. Mostly after brainstorming sessions. Sometimes she'd call me for coffee or a beer just to try and play and beat me in Scrabble. She got me on those 2-letter words that are really beyond, you can't really use in ordinary conversations. I think we started playing though when she joined our delegation of homeless people to Olympia. When All Home tried to change how HMIS, the Homeless Management Information System, is administered in our state, from opt-in to opt-out. In essence, they try to get rid of informed consent. And they failed because a large delegation, including some of the Transit Riders Union members, joined with us talking to state senators and state representatives. So we succeeded, and informed consent remains in place. Not quite sure about the chronology of all events and collaborations with the Transit Riders Union, specifically with Katie. At one point, along with Share Wheel, Nicholasville, the Transit Riders Union, SAFE, and Real Change formed a coalition. At the time, we called ourselves the Committee to End Homelessness in King County, or Occupy CEHKC. We're working to put pressure on the agency to take substantive action to solve homelessness and prioritize the safety and survival of homeless people. To this end, we made our presence known at the committee's governing board meetings. We weren't disruptive, but we made our viewpoint clear that homelessness is in a state of emergency, and there are more unsheltered people than there are shelter beds available. And without shelter, people die. Yes. Some of you may not be aware that KCRHA is the third iteration of our county's continuum of care. First, there was the Committee to End Homelessness in King County, CHKC, and the 10-year plan to end homelessness that ended in 2015. Then it became All Home, and now we have the King County Regional Homelessness Authority. And with each iteration, the goals have changed from ending homelessness with CHKC to making homelessness just rare, brief, and one time with All Home. And with KCRHA now, the goal is just reducing unsheltered homelessness. We were lowering the bar. How are you doing that? So during one meeting at CHKC, we held up names of homeless people who had died unsheltered. And at another, we formed a human corridor that committee members to follow into the bird and night landis room behind me as we stood staring at them in silence. And in all of this, Katie Wilson was a steady presence by our side. Coincidentally, coincidentally, our coalition, the name of our coalition evolved into our city coalition in 2015. The focus was ensuring that homeless people have their input respected regarding a new ordinance governing encampments and tiny house villages. As her campaign motto states, this is our city. Not everything the coalition did went smoothly. Funny story. After the Committee to End Homelessness in King County announced that they would have their next meeting at the South Seattle College in Georgetown, our coalition made plans to hold a city council candidates forum followed by a sleep out at the Hats and Boots Park nearby, and marched to the committee's governing board meeting in the morning. This was the first city council election with the new Seattle districts in place. The forum was terrific, great attendance by the candidates, and an audience basically parked full of homeless people and supporters prepared to sleep out under the summer stars, including Katie Wilson and her husband, Scott Myers. So during the sleep out around 4 a.m. in the morning, somebody or someone from the Parks Department that helped us get the permit for the sleep out at Haddon Boots Park forget to tell I guess the supervisor for the park to turn off the water sprinklers. 4 a.m. water sprinklers start going off, and we're all like, people, we just keep hearing people shouting, and we're all getting soaked. Nice way to wake up. So I'm pretty sure I'm forgetting some, because there's been plenty of numerous actions that we did alongside Katie and the Transit Riders Union, including the formation of the Stay Healthy Coalition, advocating for renters' protections and rights. We managed, with Katie's leadership, we have managed to accomplish a lot. And I'm pretty sure with us working with Katie as we start the year and her new administration, I'm hopeful and excited of what we can accomplish together. With her leadership, and guided by her dedication to low income and poor people that can barely afford to live in the city, I'm hoping for the great next 4 years, and hopefully we can address our affordability crisis and finally also address our homelessness crisis to the scale and urgency it deserves. I'm pretty sure that's a tall task, but I'm sure any surprises or challenges along the way, I'm pretty sure Katie, Honorable Mayor Wilson, I'm going to stop having to call you that. But I'm pretty sure you'll be a remarkable mayor for our city. Thank you.
Let's hear it for Jarvis Kapushin. Okay, our next speaker is Cynthia Green. Cynthia? Yeah. Cynthia is an 8-decade resident of Seattle who grew up in the Central District, and she is the namesake of the Cynthia A. Green Family Center in Skyway. Let's hear it for Cynthia.
Good morning.
Morning.
My name is Cynthia Green, and this morning I have the honor of standing before you as a witness to history. I have lived in Seattle for 80 years. I have watched this city rise and fall, expand and exclude, promise and disappoint. I have seen prosperity arrive with promises and too often leave with people's homes, history, and dignity in its wake. I've seen leadership come and go, some earnest, some ambitious, and some more concerned with being remembered than with remembering the people.
Yes.
So when I say this moment matters, I say it with the weight of a long memory. Today, we swear in a mayor who did not come from the loudest rooms or the richest donors. But from the long work of organizing. Listening and standing with people who are usually told to wait their turn. Mayor Katie Wilson. My family endorsed Katie early. In her, we saw the type of person this world needs more of. Someone brave enough to risk failure in practice of love and justice, rather than find comfort in preserving a system that survives on unconcern. And let me tell you, we caught some criticism for it. We were cautioned to be sensible, urged to temper our hopes and accept what was deemed realistic. But history has taught us this: realism, accepting a situation as it is, this is often the language of those who have grown comfortable living with inequity. And who would prefer others to do the same. Know this: when people tell you to lower your expectations, it's usually because they've gotten comfortable with someone else paying the price. We did not waver because it was time, not just for change, but for a new vision. And the people of Seattle agreed. Today is more than a celebration for our mayor. It is victory for the people who refuse to disappear from this city. For young people chartering a future clouded by decisions they did not choose. For elders who stayed when staying itself became an act of courage. For mothers and kinship caregivers keeping families together with too little support. For artists who gave Seattle its voice, even as they struggle to keep a roof over their heads. Seattle does not belong only to the powerful or to the ones with wealth collected. It also belongs to the people who love it, labor in it, and believe in it. This is our city. Katie has talked about vision from the beginning, a vision for transportation that actually gets people where they need to go, a vision for housing that understands a simple truth, that the people who work in this city ought to be able to live in it. A vision that does not confuse growth with goodness.
That's right.
Let me tell you why that matters. Not long ago, I spoke with a grandmother raising her grandchildren after their mother passed. She did everything right, worked when she could, kept the kids in school, paid what she could toward the rent, but when her hours were cut just a little, the rent didn't bend with her, the notice came anyway. That family didn't lose their home because of a lack of effort. They lost it because the system makes no room for care, for illness, or for loss. That's not a personal failure. That's a policy failure. That is why lived experience matters. Reading about struggle is not the same as living it. Katie knows the cost of child care. She knows what it's like to wait for a bus that never comes on time. She knows rent increases aren't abstractions, something that exists only as an idea. They're eviction notices. She co-founded the Transit Riders Union because she understood that access, affordability, and dignity are not luxuries, they are necessities. And she didn't just organize for change when it was fashionable, she showed up when it was hard. That's the difference. So, Mayor Wilson, the path ahead will be hard. You will be celebrated, and then you will be scrutinized. Your work and actions will be looked over. You will be lifted up and then torn back down. This is the pattern. And when those days come, and they will come, I want you to remember this: you are not alone. You have assembled a team that reflects the true Seattle: multiracial, multi-generational, rooted in community, rich in lived wisdom, people who understand that loudness is not clarity, that ego is not leadership, that compassion that passion is not weakness. You have a city that chose an organizer to lead it. because organizers have been guiding us all along. Through mutual aid circles, community gardens, and cultural sanctuaries. Seattle's heartbeat has always lived at the grassroots, and now that heartbeat has a seat at City Hall. And today is not the conclusion of the work. This is the beginning. For the first time in a long time, I feel that something has been withheld from too many people in this city for far too long. Hope. Seattle can hope again. Hope that no future worth building can be purchased with the suffering of the most vulnerable. Hope insists that leadership is not serving the few while managing the many, but the responsibility to hold the whole, to govern with love, integrity, and truth. And hope understands that love lives in small, faithful acts, repeated daily, until they gather enough strength to restore a city. Seattle is not finished. It is a place still becoming, a city waiting to be born again. Today, we take the first step in that work together. Mayor Wilson, we placed our trust in you with clear eyes and committed hearts. Walk with us in hope, lead with us in truth, and build with us the city we have long believed is possible. Okay. I just wanted to add congratulations.
Good job, Miss Queen. You know I love you.
Oh my God.
How you doing this morning?
Let's hear it for Cynthia Green. All right, our final speaker before we get to the oath of office is John Burbank. He's the founder and retired executive director of the Economic Opportunity Institute. Let's give it up for John. Try to speak up if you can.
Wow, what an amazing audience and amazing day. And thank you, Cynthia. That was just such a marvelous talk. Thank you, Scott, for adjusting the microphone. But all the way, we should know that Scott happens to be one of the best bagel bakers in the city of Seattle. And a very special thank you to Katie Wilson, to Scott Myers, and Josie. And an overwhelming thank you to the activist citizens who worked their hearts out to elect Katie Wilson as our next mayor. Katie ran her campaign with the theme of "This is your city." And you embraced that theme, you built on it, and you made it real. Now, we must celebrate the fact that this is our city. And as Seattle is our city, we must act, all of us act, with responsibility, with respect, with purpose, and with goodwill. We must work together to create our shared and thriving Commonwealth of Seattle. We cannot sit back and simply cheer our new mayor. We cannot just celebrate Alexis Rink, Dion Foster, Erica Evans, and Eddie Lynn. We know that Mayor Wilson and these newly elected leaders will work hard to create equity, justice, and well-being for all of us. But to make that a reality, all of us must participate. We must continue to be innovative, persistent, demanding citizens, and always, always keep our eyes on the prize. Katie Wilson and Scott Myers bicycled to my office in 2011, coming in, dripping water off their rain gear and onto our carpet, and eager to develop and trade ideas about how to make Seattle a better town for working class people. After our talk, they bicycled off in the pouring rain, and 3 months later, they founded the Transit Riders Union. And thanks to them, and to you, and to you, the Transit Riders Union became a small, powerful, dynamic organization that did not just talk about things, but instead made actual policy progress. Katie never gives up. The day after Trump's first election, Katie came to my office and said, "Let's start the movement to Trump-proof Seattle." And she did, and we did, getting the city council to unanimously pass an income tax on the affluent. And while that was stymied in the courts, it set the stage for progressive taxation, thanks in large part to Katie Wilson. Katie was the originator of the Jumpstart tax to fund affordable housing. And from Jumpstart, we developed the excess compensation tax to fund social housing. And the voters got it, and their votes for the excess compensation tax catapulted Katie into her campaign for mayor. And that was just 10 months ago. How do we honor Katie, this incredibly courageous and audacious and shy citizen of Seattle? We thank her for running and winning her campaign to become Seattle's mayor. We thank her for her undaunted, quiet, lonely, sometimes going door to door with Josie in a baby carrier, and ultimately successful campaigning to increase the minimum wage in cities ringing Seattle. We thank her for her youth and employee passes on Metro buses. We thank her for her nationally recognized work to enable an independent media. We thank her for building coalitions. We thank her for building coalitions of community organizations, workers, activists, immigrants, Democrats, socialists, child care workers, small businesses, unexpected listeners and supporters, and voters. We thank Katie for listening, as she did on election eve, doorbelling in Ballard, when a man came to the door and said he had just had enough of politics and candidates and government. And rather than turning around, Katie listened and wanted to talk with this man. Most of all, we thank her for being authentic, unvarnished, and her own wise self, Katie Barrett Wilson. A few years ago, Frank Chop, Larry Gossett, and I were at a Transit Riders Union annual fundraiser. We talked about the urgent need for a new generation of progressive leaders. Now, Frank is no longer with us, Larry is retired, and I'm just a speaker. So we tried, and we tried to create progress with incremental victories in an overwhelmingly powerful corporate context. So we can't say that Katie stands on our shoulders, because that is not a very strong platform for the future. What we can say is that now is the time for fundamental, systemic, and universal progress to build the commonwealth and well-being of our city. And rising from the ashes of Trumpism and neoliberalism, our new mayor will lead us in creating a phoenix of hope and opportunity, of goodwill and economic security for all of us in this great city of Seattle. In closing, I would like to mention one more of Katie's qualities. Over the past decade, I baked and delivered pies and cookies to Katie. And Katie has a very healthy and almost always eager sweet tooth. My bakery's deliveries were always welcomed and sometimes eaten immediately, even while we were talking. So if you want to get to Katie's heart, talk with her, listen about progressive policy, and act as good citizens. And if you want to get to her well-being, bake some muffins for her. It's such an honor for me and for all of us that Katie is our new wonderful and wise mayor. So let's celebrate and then let's get to work. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John Burbank. Okay, now it's time to get on to business and administer the oath of office. I'd like to introduce Pauline Vancinas. Pauline is a founding member of the Transit Riders Union, and since 2020, she's also made a name for herself as the Transit Fairy. She's going to administer the oath of office. Are you coming up?
Come on up here, girl.
This is Pauline.
Hi, and I am, to quote somebody else, beyond thrilled, beyond delighted to have this honor. And Katie surprised me about a week ago with this, and I am just tickled pink to be here. There, can you guys hear me? Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Hold the baby.
So I think be it with as soon as.
Okay, baby.
Yeah, as I said, I am absolutely thrilled to do this. So without further ado, Katie. You got it? Okay. That's okay. Katie, please hold up your right hand and repeat after me. I, Katie Wilson, swear
I, Katie Wilson, swear
that I possess all of the qualifications prescribed in the Seattle City Charter
that I possess all of the qualifications prescribed in the Seattle City Charter
and the Seattle Municipal Code
and the Seattle Municipal Code
for the position of Mayor of the City of Seattle,
for the position of Mayor of the City of Seattle,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Washington,
the Constitution of the State of Washington,
and the Charter and ordinances of the City of Seattle,
and the Charter and ordinances of the City of Seattle,
and that I will faithfully conduct myself as Mayor of the City of Seattle
and that I will faithfully conduct myself as the Mayor of the City of Seattle.
Hey, your new mayor, Katie Wilson. Katie, woo! Thanks, guys.
Yeah, just a little bit higher, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. Hi, everyone. I know you've all been standing for a long time, just a little longer. So my team asked me if I wanted some help with my speech. And I said, you know, I understand that when I'm the mayor, I'm going to have some help writing speeches. But I feel like maybe this is my last time where I get to just say whatever I want. So y'all are getting an unvetted speech here. I can feel some waves of anxiety. It's going to be okay. It is such a pleasure and an honor to be here with all of you today. I look out and I see so many people who have played a role in getting us to this place of promise and hope. I see friends and colleagues and family. I see people I've known for years, and others I just met this year, and many others who I don't yet know. I see people whose names are known and celebrated, and others whose work is quiet and behind the scenes, but no less important. I see fellow organizers. I see union members. I see tech workers and baristas. I see city employees. I see elected officials. And I know there's at least one former mayor here. I see young people and elders. I see people whose families have lived here for generations, and others who maybe just arrived to make Seattle your home. And to all of you, and to everyone watching from afar, and to all of the people who could not be here today because they are doing the hard, unsung work that makes Seattle run, I say, this is your city. This is your city. This is your city, and as your mayor, I will work every single day to make that not just a phrase, but a living reality. This is your city. That means that you belong here. You have a right to be here and to live a dignified life, whatever your background and whatever your income. But it also means that all of us have a shared responsibility for this place and for each other, because Seattle is what we make of it together. It's hard for me to believe that it's been less than 2 months since the election. And in that short space of time, a lot has happened. For one thing, I'm getting really, really good at hiring people. But seriously, I am very excited about the team that will be joining me in the mayor's office. I remember a conversation that I had with my husband sometime shortly after the primary, when it began to look like I might actually become the mayor. And we were talking about what qualities are important in hiring staff, a subject that we obviously knew a lot about. In the end, we concluded that the most important thing is character. Someone might share my vision and my worldview. They might be competent and experienced and effective. But if they're not in this work for the right reasons, if they don't have enough self-awareness to reflect on their own motivations and rise above themselves when needed, then that's not a person that I should put in a position of power. I believe that it is so important that the people working alongside me in the mayor's office every day are good people with good judgment who have the best interest of our city at heart. And I am filled with confidence and hope for the future, in part because I know that that is going to be the case. We're still building this team, but many of them are already on board and are sprinkled among you here today, and I hope you get to meet them. What else has happened since election night? Well, late last month, I had the honor of being noticed by the President of the United States, who called me a very, very liberal/communist mayor. It's nice to feel seen. That's all I'm going to say about that. And earlier this month, we launched our transition team. So this team is composed of about 60 volunteers, community leaders, and experts in their fields who are helping to turn many of the issues that I campaigned around into actionable plans and recommendations for my administration. Many of these people are also here today, some of them behind me. And I want to say a few words about their work because I am very proud of what they're doing. So sometimes mayoral transition teams can be a little bit performative. You select a bunch of people with names that other people recognize, you put them in a big room, everyone says their piece, they feel important, you feel important, and then everyone goes home. I really hate that kind of thing. I don't like wasting people's time. So as a community organizer, I decided to do things a little differently. For our transition team, we chose people who are willing to roll up their sleeves, put in real time and labor, and expand the tent. So these 60 people have been hard at work, reaching out to a much wider circle of advisors across the city, building relationships and gathering insights. And so far, in just the few weeks since we launched, they've collectively talked with over 700 more people. This process will continue through January, and I am so grateful for the work of this team and excited to see the recommendations that they assemble. They're digging into all the subjects you might expect: housing and homelessness and transportation and climate action and workers' rights and public safety and so on and on. But when my transition director first shared with me a proposal for the work groups that we would be assembling, there was one that stuck out to me. It was called Civic Narrative and Major Initiatives. And I was like, what does that even mean? Civic narrative. So that's the story that we tell about our city, our collective identity, who we are and where we're going. Major initiatives. They're what happens when the government teams up with the people and the institutions that have access to vast amounts of capital to put on big events or undertake big infrastructure projects that change the face of our city. Now, to be honest, this kind of city making and the civic boosterism that supports it, surrounds it, has never been my jam. I'm kind of a rabble-rouser. I campaigned on affordability, on homelessness, on taxing the rich. I've spent my career organizing with the people who often get left out of those official narratives. But now I'm the mayor. And it's my job to channel excitement for major projects. And not just that, I have to genuinely care about them enough to exercise good judgment and make the best decisions possible for our city. And so I had a little bit of a crisis of conscience. Can I do that? Can I be the mayor of the waterfront and the World Cup and the stadiums and the Seattle Center and the Convention Center and any other centers we might decide to build? Well, I have some good news for our city. Yes, yes, I can. I'll do it in my own way, but I can do that. But that also got me thinking about this idea of civic narrative and Seattle's identity. Because the thing about cities is that there's never just one story to be told about them. Seattle is, we all know, a city of innovation. We're a city of software and same-day delivery and cancer immunotherapy and so much more. The kinds of advances that are powered by our tech and aerospace and biomedical industries, by our major research institutions, by the brilliance of our entrepreneurs and our tech workers and our engineers and our researchers. And that's all a core part of Seattle's identity. But just as there is city making and innovation from above, there is also city making and innovation from below. There are kinds of innovation that no one pays you for, but they're no less important. Because Seattle is also a city that has been home to pioneers in jazz and rock and grunge and hip hop. We're a city of music and literature and the arts. And yes, of course, you can make money in those fields, and some people make a lot of money. But usually before you make any money, there's a long period of not making any money. Of pursuing your calling just because you're in love with it, because you see or hear or feel something that no one else does, and the act of creation gives your life meaning. No one gives you venture capital to become a musician or a sculptor, or to start a small brick and mortar business, to bring something new to vacant space and enliven a neighborhood. And I can tell you from personal experience that no one pays you to start a transit riders union. No one pays you to try to change the way power flows through the city, to change who has a voice in shaping our city's future and its politics. And these kinds of innovation from below are something that I am afraid we are at risk of losing because it is so hard to afford to live in this city. So when we fight for affordable housing and childcare, it is not just about solving the math problem of how to make your household's revenue exceed its expenses. And when we talk about shaping our transportation system and our neighborhoods, it's not just about making people's commutes safer or shorter or less polluting. It's about opening up the time and the space where life happens, where people can breathe and experience and create, where we can be full human beings and not just means to an end. I want to live in a city that honors what you're doing when you're not making money. I'm not talking about watching Netflix, by the way. I mean the time that you spend with your kid at the playground or caring for a sick friend. I want to live in a city that celebrates the labor that people perform voluntarily, like someone, the transit fairy, who spends all day cleaning up bus stops, even though no one is paying her to do it. A city that values the pursuits that create beauty and community, whether or not they ever turn into careers. A city that thinks that you should have time to read a book and lay on the grass staring up at the clouds. Because we need bread, but we need roses too. We all deserve roses. And we can honor this work and leisure too, not just by praising it or saying that we value it, but by fighting to make possible a way of life where you do not have to spend every waking moment figuring out how to pay your bills. Where you don't have to work multiple jobs to support your kids, where you can raise a family in an apartment because the city is your living room and the park's your backyard and the grocery store is a short walk away. And I believe that we can have all of this, but it will require yet another kind of innovation. Innovation at City Hall. We are in a moment that calls for vision and ambition. And also, I know that the necessary foundation for ambition is trust. And there is no more important part of my job as mayor than to build up deserved trust, your trust in local government. And that means listening and responding, solving problems and getting results. That means making true, tangible progress on problems like homelessness, where progress has eluded our city for so many years. I believe that we can do all of this, and we can also do big new things. And we have to do big new things. And I'm going to be calling on all the brilliance and the creativity and the dedication of our public sector workers, our city employees, as we push the boundaries of what we can accomplish together. But most of all, success is going to require all of you. Is anyone here at Seattle City Hall for the very first time this morning? Yes! That's a lot of hands. Welcome. This is your building. This is your building, and I'm going to need you to come back here again and again and again. Because the progress that we need to make is not just handed down from City Hall. That's not how power works. That's not how power has ever worked. We would not have an 8-hour day or a minimum wage or Social Security without workers organizing and fighting for those things. We would not have the rights that we have for women, for Black and brown people, for the LGBTQ+ community, without mass social movements fighting for dignity and equality. These things have never been given to us without people organizing and demanding change from those in positions of power. And the same is true here in Seattle. We wouldn't have some of the strongest tenant protections in the country without renters organizing for those laws. And we wouldn't have free transit for youth if students at Rainier Beach High School hadn't stood up and made that their fight. We wouldn't have Jumpstart Seattle without a multi-year grassroots campaign for progressive revenue. And we would not have the highest minimum wage in the country in Tukwila and other cities around King County without people pounding the pavement and knocking on doors and getting out the vote. With all of you is where this power lies. And that is why I intend to govern in a way that creates space for organizers and ordinary people to do the work of pushing our city and our society forward toward realizing our highest and best aspirations. Because I know that what I am able to accomplish in office will depend on what you are able to build on the outside. This is your city, and I am so, so proud to be your mayor. That's all I wanted to say. Let's do this together.
So we're gonna have the family first.
Okay.
So Mayor, if you don't mind.
So maybe you just tell people we're doing photos.
Oh, don't worry.
Okay.
You're the first gentleman. We got this here.
Should we tell people what they should do?
Well, yeah. Give me 1 second. You do this part. Yes, ma'am. I got it. Yes. All right, Seattle. Are we ready for a new mayor? Seattle, you can do so much better than that. Are you ready for a new mayor? All right. Well, now it's our time to celebrate before the work gets started. So what's going to happen is this. We're going to take a few pictures. Okay, so if you have a sign, get in front of me. I'm just a voice, just a voice. Okay. And then what's going to happen is I have a colleague for everybody else here. On this side, we're going to start from the Christmas tree this way to start receiving. Okay, if you would like to take a picture with our new mayor and family, we're going to start right here. I have my colleague in a nice yellow right here. Okay? It should be to your right. I have my other colleague, Artie, raise your hand. There we go. So we're going to start here, and we're going to receive.